Hey everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of September 2019. I do hope that this video finds you well, whether you are a Taurus or cross-watching for someone who has a Taurus placement. All are welcome here, come on in. I do apologize that these videos have been taking some time to be put out this month. I have been pretty inundated with personal readings, and my personal life has just been very, very busy. And I feel like if I'm putting out this content, I need to be very authentic and connected. So I do appreciate your patience and understanding with me. Thank you so much for those of you who have already commented on the post I made explaining things. It really, really helped. And it just showed me how beautiful this community is. I love being part of this tarot community online, so thank you so much. And thanks to those of you who have been supporting this channel with your likes, shares, and subscribes. It really means the world to me to be able to put out these messages for all of you. So thank you. For those of you who are brand new to this channel, I like to start out all of my readings with an astrological report. I will invite you guys to leave a timestamp in the comments down below to skip ahead for those of you who aren't interested in the astrology report. Although I really do think that it's helpful, it can really give a flavor for the overall month. I do feel like astrology and tarot do work very synergistically, and even if it doesn't necessarily apply to your own life, it could easily apply to people around you. So it can be very helpful, and even just establishing a sense of what might be happening when. I do have a blog post in the description box down below that accompanies the astrology report. It gives all the dates for the specific aspects and transits for those of you who are interested in figuring out what might be happening when. I did not go in as in-depth as I usually do with this report because there is just so much that's happening. We literally have like triple the amount of aspects and transits that we had last month. So it was not something I wanted to tackle, just gonna be honest. I did look at all the transits though. I did still look at the energy, and I gave kind of an overview in the blog post, so you can still read up on that. I'm gonna be providing specifically for you, Taurus, what all of this means for your sign. I do get the sense that you're actually going to benefit a lot from this specific, or from this month's astrological energy. Even though it's not going to always be easy, we do have Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. We have a lot of trines happening there with all of the planets moving through Virgo. There was actually a trine, I want to say it was Mercury, some planet in Virgo, and Uranus in your sign, in Taurus. So I feel like this month actually really started off with this invigorated sense of self for you. You really, I think, are kind of stepping into yourself in new and exciting ways, especially just having Uranus in your sign. That's kind of the process you're embarking on, this journey you're embarking on. And I feel like you got some support there right at the start of this month. And with all of these trines that are happening, there's a lot of opportunity for growth, especially in career and finances. But I do also get the sense that with all of this forward movement, we do have these squares that are happening with all the planets in Virgo against, what is it? It is Jupiter in Sagittarius. I apologize, I'm kind of losing my words here after being in the intuitive brain for so long. With this square, with all of the planets squaring off Jupiter in Sagittarius, there is a tendency for these energies to almost run to the excess. And in this very specific case, what this means is that we are going to see an increase in perfectionism, in criticism. So if you're having a hard time moving forward in your life, look at your self-talk. How are you talking about yourself? What are your thoughts about yourself and other people? Your criticism could really be holding you back. And this is true for everybody. This is kind of a big theme right now. I do feel like there's a need to really get into a healthy routine. Even if it doesn't feel like you need it, it could be really helpful for this month ahead. We do also have, with Libra season, some more squares that are again happening with Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. So again, it's kind of uncomfortable energy. It's almost like with all this forward movement, you're being pushed against a wall. and you have to kind of just persevere. But with that Pluto energy especially, what's really, really nice about this is that if you persevere, if you overcome, if you find resolve in however this energy is affecting you personally, you will not only get what you want, you will get more. You will get, you will be able to have your cake and eat it too, but it's going to take work, it's going to take perseverance, it's going to take dedication, so it's not going to come easy. But there is going to be a big payoff for those of you who can pass this test. So I don't want you to worry about it too much. September has a lot of potential, and it can be a very, very beautiful month if you're using this energy, this mental energy, in productive ways. And what else? We do have the big event of Saturn going direct on September 18th, which is going to be a very, I feel like this will kind of push people forward, but it could also manifest as some external blockages. And if it does do that, it's kind of helping you release resistance within yourself by dealing with something external. So what this is really going to look like, September went, wow, Jupiter, Saturn, we're talking about Saturn, went retrograde on April 29th. Ever since then, there has been a lot of blockages. We might have been holding ourselves back from doing what we really want to do. There might have just been a lot of delays and blockages, or we've just not felt like we were ready to do something. I want you to really think about what you were thinking about during that time, because you are now going to be able to move forward with it. Especially being an earth sign like Taurus, you are going to be able to use the Saturn energy to achieve and overcome and rise above. It will take effort on your part, it will take work, but I promise you there is beautiful potential here. And I think that's pretty much everything for September. There's not a lot happening specifically for Taurus. I mean, of course there is, but I could go on, and I would like to get to your reading. My last video was actually over 40 minutes long. Really interesting if you have any Aries placements. It was pretty heavy. I actually had to burn a lot of sage, so sorry if it's smoky in here. But it actually looks quite bright and clear, so how lovely. Anyway, I'm gonna start drawing the cards for you, but before we get into that, I am just going to disclaim that this is a general reading, meaning not all of the messages are going to be resonant for you. It's up to your own intuition and discernment to figure out what messages apply for you and what should be left behind. If this doesn't fit for your life, that's totally okay. Nothing went wrong. You are more than welcome to check on the other videos. Maybe something is there for you. I have a playlist for all of the readings for September, so you can check on those, or even if you just want something clarified, you're welcome to take a peek there as well. Some of the energy may also come in the reverse. A third party might be your own energy or vice versa. That's especially the case if you are cross-watching for someone who is a Taurus. You are probably showing up as the other person. And finally, don't get too caught up on the zodiac or the gender of the cards. It's all just the way the energy is being translated in the most concise way possible, and this energy is fluid, especially in a general reading. So I'm going to start shuffling the deck now. What are the messages for Taurus coming into the month of September? So this is the energy that's kind of laying the foundation here. This is what we've been working on or been dealing with. This could be August, this could go even further back than that. I actually wonder if for some of you it is Gemini season that this is going to be referring to, because we do have the Lovers that just fell out. What are the messages for Taurus coming into September 2019? What is the energy here? Show us clearly. There we go. Interesting. So, as I said, we did have the Lovers, the Six of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. Now, I don't read reversals with this specific deck. I do almost get the sense, though, I hate to say that this Lover's energy is actually in reverse. I do feel like some of you may have gone through a breakup or had some recent heartache with someone you felt like you had a lot of potential with, especially if this is someone you were living with or working very closely with, because this is kind of showing up in the day-to-day. It could also be representing, you know, something that you love, your passion, your career, your purpose. I do feel like there was some sort of setback here. And with this Ten of Swords, I am seeing at the bottom of the deck, this is kind of coming as confirmation. There was definitely something that came to an end. And I'm almost reading the Six of Wands kind of in the reverse as well. There was something you were hoping would have long-term potential. It's like something left that you expected to come back and return to you victorious, but I'm almost getting the sense that it didn't. And I do feel like that this was pretty painful, that this was pretty challenging for you, but I feel like there was some recent clarity, or you might be coming into some more clarity about the situation, having some sort of revelation or communication, a message that could come through with this Ace of Swords. And we have the Nine of Wands as well. You're feeling very beat down, and you might feel so worn down coming into September that you don't even know how to go forward. But I do see that you are almost at your goal. You've almost reached something here. So if some sort of setback happened in a relationship, I actually wouldn't count it out just yet. I do feel like there is just a little more push here in some way. I mean, some of you just ended something and you'll kind of know who you are. If you ended something and it's said and done, there's no going back, then I feel like what this is saying is that you are almost where you want to be. You're almost in the relationship you want to be. Keep going forward. You might be getting a message that is kind of showing you this. Someone might be coming in, and I actually could see multiple people with this Six of Wands here. And I am seeing 2 sixes, so I do feel like there is, I actually do get kind of a sense of familial unit for some of you, especially extended family, because 6 is all about the extended family. Some of you could be working with a family member, and I wonder if that you had some sort of fall through or fallout. That could also be referring to the Saturn retrograde that we've been in. Maybe that was part of the setbacks for you guys. But I feel like you're almost at the end of something. You've almost persevered through something. And I have as your animal wisdom, the Gazelle card. I do feel like you have been a little hypersensitive as a result of this situation. You might be looking out for threats. Gazelle is a beautiful and graceful spirit. It's very attuned to its surroundings, very lovely. But where it can kind of fall into detriment is that it's almost too hypervigilant. It's almost so aware of its surroundings that it's looking for problems that might not even be there. And if you're feeling this energy, it's really, really important that you're grounded. Some of you might have been going through a lot or even moving through something with the Six of Wands here. I feel like it's definitely time for you to ground, to take care of yourself, to do all of these earthy things, especially as an earth sign. I'm a Virgo. We do need to take care of ourselves. Self-care is so important for everyone, but we need to take care of our bodies specifically. We really benefit when we nourish ourselves with the earth element. So I hope you give yourself permission to do that and to really just feel at home. Even if the people around you aren't a part of that anymore. What are the messages for Taurus at the start of September? What is being introduced in the month of September for Taurus? What themes, what lessons, what blessings? How is this beginning? This is probably the first half of September, but again, time is very fluid in these readings. Beautiful. Oops. Show me clearly. Interesting. Very interesting. So we have the Three of Pentacles. The Ten of Cups came out with the Ten of Wands. And we have the Two of Pentacles that came out with the Nine of Cups. So this is actually really interesting energy, because I feel like we were talking about a work situation a moment ago. If some of you were having some sort of trouble here, I actually feel like you're working something out, or you're working with people who are actually able to support you now. This could be someone who is coming in. But I definitely feel like you're very hard at work on something. This could be a new job or a job that you've been working, but it seems like there's just this sense of newness, new energy is what I'm really getting. And there's a lot of fulfillment and happiness that's here and available for you, especially if there is some sort of love connection. I just feel a lot of connectedness. It's like reestablishing a connection that might have been lost in the recent months. But we do have this Ten of Wands, which is a little discouraging. I feel like you're taking on a lot of burden, or maybe you're working a bit too hard here, and it's preventing you from really experiencing this Ten of Cups. There might be some responsibilities that you just kind of need to let go. I am seeing with the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups here, you really do need to prioritize your happiness, because I feel like you're juggling a lot of different things here. And it's really hard to kind of keep your balance, and it's really important for you to focus on your happiness as well. So I see actually a lot of really good energy overall, even if there is some new adjustments or some burdens that are kind of weighing you down. There's a lot of happiness that can be had here, and it might require that you kind of lighten the load for yourself and have good boundaries and practice that you know, advocating for yourself, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, really pursuing your happiness here and your fulfillment, because I feel like there are people around you who can kind of pick up the slack, who can help you out with the Three of Pentacles here, and I feel like there's just this nice sense of connection here. But it does require you to kind of let go of some burdens to really access this. Interesting. You know, we have a lot of repeating numbers here. We have 2 6s, 2 9s, and 2 10s. Interesting. There's definitely a completion of something with the 9s, and I'm feeling like a new cycle, a new beginning as a result of that. Let's see. What is the animal wisdom for Taurus? What is the animal wisdom for Taurus coming into September? And if you feel like you're totally alone, like there isn't anyone, like you're hearing me say there's these people around you and you don't feel like there is, you can actually call on these animal spirits to help you through this month. That's why I love the animal deck so much. We have the Moth card coming out here. There's definitely a lot of fluttery energy. I feel like there is this emerging from a chrysalis or a cocoon for moth. So you are kind of stepping out. You are asking for help. You are connecting with new people. It almost feels like there's this sense of burden, though, and it might not feel like exactly what you want, but I do feel like there is a lot of happiness to be had here. Again, I was warning you guys in the astrology energy, or the astrological report, that there's this tendency for perfectionism, for criticism to get really, really high. So if you're feeling like things are just not going right, again, this could just be your own perception here. You know, the grass is always greener. If you got something new and it doesn't feel like it's what you want, still persevere with it, stick with it. It might take some time for things to settle, but I feel like there's a lot of potential for happiness here, and I feel like this is something that you've actually been manifesting for quite some time. We're now going to be looking at the second half of September, where all of this energy is going, how this is evolving. This could be September, could be further out. It's just the current trajectory of things for this collective? What are the messages for Taurus? Wow, nice. What are the messages for Taurus? I like this. Yeah, for those of you who have been having some sort of difficulties, either in love or with the people close to you, I do feel like you are making amends. You are working things out. It's not going to be an immediate fix, for sure, but I do feel like you can work things out. All right, we have the Two of Cups. Very, very nice to see. The Daughter of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles and the Justice card. Some of you may be talking to a Libra here who is making you feel very good about your life right now. I do see with this Daughter of Pentacles, it could also be another earth sign, so Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. Although I do have the suspicion that this is your energy, Taurus. You know, with this Two of Cups, I feel like I don't even get the sense of necessarily a new connection, but something that is being healed, something that is being mended, or bringing something back to a better time, a better energy that might have been lost for some time. Could even be with an ex for some of you. I do feel like with this Four of Pentacles and this Daughter of Pentacles, there's definitely this tendency to hold back. Even though there's this beautiful potential and abundance here, I get this sense that you might be holding back or holding on and afraid to trust in this. But it's important that you're open regardless of the circumstance. Even if you end up losing something, if you lost it by being open, it just wasn't meant for you, you know? And, you know, with this Justice card, I do feel like you are working something out. You are bringing something, some sort of light or closure to a situation here. I do feel like you are settling things. Settling is kind of the word I'm getting here. And I feel like it is in your favor. I actually do want to clarify this Two of Cups here. What is this Two of Cups talking about? Some of you might be needing to make a choice. Yep. And you're delaying it with this Hanged Man here. Don't delay this choice. I do feel like by the end of September, you're going to need to be making a decision. And it might be hard because it might be between two things you love or two people you love. Or it's just you needing to make the decision to commit to what or who you love. I feel like if you don't do this, I'm not trying to scare you, but I do have a Tower card at the bottom of the deck here. Just keep that in mind. Don't delay a decision. You know, feel things out and then decide here what it is that you need to do. I do feel like it's really important for you to listen to your heart for this decision. It's not necessarily something that you're going to mentally understand. It's like when you commit to doing something, when you decide to act with your heart, and sometimes that's all it takes. It's just like, okay, I'm doing this thing, and then you just figure out how to do it. I feel like you kind of do need to get into this energy because some of you have been feeling a little stuck, and you kind of just need to make the decision to do what you love. But overall, this feels actually pretty positive. Again, there's some bumps in the road, but that's life, right? You're Taurus. You're able to kind of just go forward, slow and steady. What is the animal wisdom for Taurus here? What is the animal wisdom for Taurus? Lion. I feel like you're coming into a lot of power. And for this collective, there's this tendency to be the strong one. people kind of rely on you. They look at you as very capable, and I think because of that, they don't necessarily see where you're vulnerable. And maybe that's why you have a hard time opening up, because you feel like a lot of people are turning to you and you don't want to burden them. But I see that it's really important for you to let go of burdens, especially at the first part of September. But I feel like that's going to kind of be a theme here. That's going to be your part of your journey for a while. It's you prioritizing your happiness, you letting go of things that are just adding weight and slowing you down. I feel like with this Lion card, it's very important for you to meditate. It's also very important for you to connect with people who, you know, are really there for you, who really support you, finding your pride, finding your people. That's going to be really important. Positive connections here. I do feel like there's actually one more animal that wants to come out. That one flew right out, so I'm going to take that as a yes. We do have the Bat card. Interesting, Hanged Man energy again. I do feel like there is an ending here, but it doesn't necessarily feel like a physical ending. It feels like you're ending a cycle. We have kind of this darkness here, and this card speaks of how it's darkest before dawn. I do feel like some of you are definitely feeling some heaviness, and then it's like this strange oscillation. You're going through these really heavy periods and then these really feel good high periods. It's like highs and lows, almost a little bipolar this month, which is kind of the energy of the stars here. But I do think with this bat, you are actually bringing it into a cycle. I don't want you to freak out. It's not necessarily the end of something physical. It could be. You know, we do have the Tower at the bottom of the deck here. But I feel like this is you ending some sort of cycle, you coming out of some sort of stagnancy and choosing what you love. And you know, the Lion, it's all about the heart. It's Leo energy. And you're striking a balance with this, you know, the head and the heart, especially with Justice card here. I see, just to kind of review, I definitely see like whatever it was that you felt like you were never going to achieve or reach or have in your life, I actually feel like you are starting to get that to manifest, and it's causing some changes. And it might not always be comfortable, the shifting that's happening in the moment, but it does seem to be bringing in what it is that you've been manifesting or working towards. And I do feel like there is kind of this karmic payout. Whatever you put in is what you're getting out, so definitely persevere here. I do feel like there's been a lot of burdens you've taken on, especially in the past, especially if you felt like you were expecting other people to work with you and you ended up being by yourself. I do feel like you took on a lot of burdens, and there are people coming in now who can help delegate some responsibilities and take the tension off of you. And I definitely feel like it's important for you to choose love, especially towards the end of the month. There could be some love coming into your life, and it's important not to delay this decision. It's going to be important that you commit to it. Otherwise, we do have the potential here for some sort of falling apart or some sort of breakdown in your life. So go forward with love, trust in your heart, and I feel like you'll have a really good month. I do hope that this reading was helpful for you, September. These are all... I do hope that this reading was helpful for you, Taurus, for the month of September. I do have links in the description box down below for those of you who are interested in a personal reading or Reiki session. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what is happening for all of you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, Taurus.